Welcome back to the NFHS Network's coverage of the CIF North Coast Section 2013 Division III football quarterfinal playoff game. And it was quite the game to be had as the number 2 seeded Campolindo Cougars, they take care of business here at home like they were supposed to do over a very familiar opponent, a longtime league rival, which is only about 11 minutes away from here, driving distance. And that was the 7th-seeded Ahazie Dons, and the Cougars beat them by a score of 35-14 tonight. And part of the reason for that score, a big part of that reason, is the man standing to my left. He is our player of the game, and that is Andrew Ahazie, the cornerback for the Campolindo Cougars. And Andrew, we're pleasure to have you join us here in the booth.
Glad to be here.
And so explain to me, the kind of what was the goal coming into this game? I mean, you guys had that whole week off last week, earning the 2nd seed in the first round bye. Did you feel that you were at a disadvantage coming into this game, or did you feel like maybe that helped you guys just stay loose? Or, Ahazie was coming here on a roll. They had that big win last week against their opponent. What was just your take of having to start off the playoffs with that first round bye?
We actually didn't think the bye was a good thing. Actually, we thought we were ready to go. We were on a roll. Actually, we were ready to take our first opponent, and we missed that first round game. So we knew we had to come in strong, ready, pumped up, because we didn't have a first round game, and especially playing our rival. We had to play well.
Yeah, I mean, how does that get you pumped up? I mean, I've gotten to experience playing a rival in the regular season to end the season, but I've never got to play a rival in the playoffs. Explain to me what that's like. I mean, I'm sure you guys were way more juiced than you were normally, I mean, as far as excitedness goes, but just what was this week like, just knowing that it wasn't just an average opponent that you were playing in your first playoff game this year? It was actually a very close, familiar league rival where you probably know a lot of these kids growing up playing youth tackle with or youth football with them or anything, just growing up playing, hanging out with these kids. What was it like leading up to this game?
I actually missed the first game when we played them in the season. So I was ready to go. I was finally getting my second chance to play. My first chance to play against them. So just knowing that you beat someone who you live really close to, and that you'll see them after and say that we beat you, we ended your season. Couldn't be happier for us, actually.
Right, and so you guys start off well. The first drive of the game, you end up punching it in with your running back Fideli, who was looking awesome in the first half, had over 100 yards, and maybe just explain to us just in the fact that how well he did that give your defense more confidence? The fact that the offense was doing their job, did it make you guys want to play better?
Oh, definitely. We loved how right from the start they had it going, especially my Nick Fideli, my running back. He's actually my roommate, so that got me pumped up, seeing him ready. I knew I had to back it up, too, do it well for him out there also.
Yeah, and it was a 21-7 game going into halftime, and you knew that Ahazie was getting the ball, and I'm sure they were planning on clamping things up and trying to figure out what they could have done better. And it looked like their halftime adjustments went pretty well for the first part of their drive. I mean, they were very consistent. They mixed up a little bit of the pass and then broke it off with some quarterback runs on you guys, got all the way into goal territory in your end of the field, 1st and goal at the 10-yard line, and they look for the pass to the end zone. They want to get that touchdown to bring it within single digits, and you step in and make the pick. Just maybe what was going on through your head in that first interception? What did you see from Casey Harrington that led you to just jump that route and pick the ball off?
Actually, a couple of plays before that, they ran a 1-3, so they tried to run me off. So I was guessing, I was waiting for them to try and throw the ball over the top.
Okay.
So once I saw the outside receiver I was on stop, I knew the slot receiver, Loth, I actually know him. He's a friend.
Right.
I knew he was running deep. I knew I'd help out the safety and get underneath, and I just saw the ball right there in my hands.
And, I mean, really to us, that was the reason why we picked you as player of the game because, I mean, that thwarted all the momentum that Ahazie was building up in that long, sustainable drive to start off the second half. It was a 21-7 game at that point. If they score, they make it 21-14. But you make the pick, and you even got a little bit of a return out of there. You didn't just take a knee in the end zone, and you were trying to make a play happen. And then from there, you kind of, with that pick, it seemed like you took out all the momentum they had, and it seemed like they never got that confidence back to do the things they wanted to do offensively. And then later on, you ended up getting a second pick, and again they were looking for the deep pass. They were trying to get into the end zone somehow, some way to just try to catch up with you guys. And once again, you were in the right place at the right time, huh?
Yeah.
And what was that interception like?
It was man coverage, so I knew it was on me. I was really surprised they actually threw the ball because, they had trips to the other side, so I expected the ball to go that way. And I just had a great coverage. I got my hip right next to his hip, squeezed him outside, and the ball just came right in my chest. Thank God for coaching.
Yeah, and so now that makes for 3 interceptions overall on the year for you. And next week, you guys will play the winner of El Cerrito and Novato. It's going to be a good game. Novato pulled off the upset, beating Ensenal last week. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. And now they're going to play a team against El Cerrito. So this is going to be kind of a 2-part question. First off, if you had to give advice to Novato, the Novato fans that are somehow watching this game, what would you say they need to do, being that you guys have already played El Cerrito and you beat them quite handily this season? What do you think Novato needs to do next week or tomorrow night in order to beat El Cerrito? What can they take advantage of?
I tell them to play confident, don't be scared, and just watch a lot of film. And because they have a simple pattern, similar routes, so I just tell them to watch film and just be confident going in.
And let's just say they don't get the job done, and their Cinderella story ends tomorrow night, and then that would mean that you guys would take on El Cerrito right here at home. And how confident would you feel in going up against them again this year, a team that you've already played this year and beat them by 15 points earlier this year?
Oh, I'd be very confident. I actually missed that game with the same injury as the Acalanes game, so now
what injury did you have back then?
I think I had a high ankle sprain, and then I also broke my finger. That I was out for 6 weeks of the season.
And now everything's healed well?
Yep.
Okay.
So now it's my time to shine. I'm excited.
And I mean, just I guess overall where you guys are at, you're still perfect. Is that just kind of pushing you guys to keep playing the way you are? Or you're afraid to – you don't want to get that loss.
Yeah.
And I was there to broadcast the 2011 team. Do you ever talk to members of that team? Have they kind of come around, some of the alumni on that team, and have they given you guys any advice so far on what has been a thrilling season?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of them were here to this game, actually. They just told us, keep playing for that one more week, because, once you lose, it's over. It's playoffs. So we just keep thinking to ourselves, one more week. All we want is one more week. That's how we go in every day in practice. Well,
thank you, Andrew. For me, I picked you guys I don't know if you watched that selection show to see where you guys were getting seated in the playoffs, but we broke down each division and each bracket, and it was me and my buddy Tim Fitzgerald hosting it, and I picked you guys to win the Division III. I picked you to pull off the upset over Marin Catholic, so you got to get it done now for me, too, not just for yourselves. You got to make me look like a genius here, too. But, hey, I wish you the best of luck through the rest of these playoffs, man. You played phenomenal tonight. Your 2 picks definitely paced your boys in the 35-14 victory. Tell Nick Fideli, congratulations. If we could have had 2 players in the game, we would have brought both you guys up. But we said, hey, he's going to be a junior. He'll have plenty of time to be player of the game. Your senior year, we wanted to get you in here before close the book on your final days here playing high school football. So thank you, Andrew, for joining us. Like I said, best of luck next week to whoever you play, whether it's Novato or El Cerrito. And, folks, once again, give it up for our player of the game, Andrew Ahazie from the Campolindo Cougars, a senior defensive back, 2 picks, both in the second half, and they were game changers as his team went on to win by a final score of 35-14, staying perfect as their record improves to 11-0, and they knock off their rival for bragging rights in the La Marinda area, beating the Acalanes Dons. We'll be right back, Zach and I, to finally wrap things up here from Bob Wilson Stadium on the campus of Campolindo High School in Moraga, California. Stay tuned, folks. Don't go anywhere. NFHS Network, we are high school.